Good morning. And I am Dr. Pamela Robinson, and I'm here with Carmela, my daughter, and we are here this morning because we want to come to you and tell you about some very special products that we have for Black Friday. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are so happy and glad in it, aren't we?
Yes.
How was Thanksgiving dinner?
It was really, really good.
What did you like about it?
I like the fun, family, and fellowship.
That is so good. Well, today, we don't want to belabor the time, I have created several products that I would love for you to purchase. And they are centered around mental health wellness, culturally affirming products. I have with me Blooming with New Coping Skills Emotional Regulation Flashcards. And the package is $24.99. However, today, you can purchase these cards for 20% off of the $24.99. So be sure to click on the scan code that will be included in this broadcast, and you'll be able to purchase these cards. Blooming with New Coping Skills, Culturally Regulation Flashcards, and they are a set of cards that everyone needs to be able to have in your homes, your schools, your youth groups, your neighborhood groups, wherever you find those little children that you actually have in your lives. Purchase a set of these cards because they are going to help them be able to do what? Deal with those really big emotions that sometimes they just might not have the words for. I'll have Carmela tell you some of the words that are here in the packet of cards.
This one says jealous, and it says do not compare yourself with other kids, including your siblings. You are unique and have different talents and abilities. Perform a random act of kindness. That's just a few of the advice tips on the jealous card.
Now this one says anger. And as Carmela just said, on the back of these cards, there are coping skills that tell the children how that they can actually deal with those really big emotions in a very appropriate way. So we've given them the tools. So if a little kiddo finds that they're angry, what should they do, Carmela?
Build a pillow fort, read the Bible, ride a bike, color, hug a friend or family member.
Now, we also have in the packet of cards a card that talks about a really wonderful tool to help kids actually begin to feel how their body is feeling. Have there been times in your life, Carmela, that maybe you might have had some tension in your shoulder or maybe some tension in your back?
Yes.
Have you maybe wondered where that tension could have been coming from?
Yes.
Well, kiddos have the same thing. Sometimes our kiddos might have some tension in their feelings, and they wonder where this tension coming from. But we have a card right here that says that how am I going to scale the feelings that I'm having? Scaling means how am I going to tell just how big that emotion is. So this is an anger scale, and it looks at how big that emotion is on a scale of 1 to 5. So check out this card, and Carmela's going to tell you what the scaling is on the back.
So it says scale of 1, it says I feel great, I smile, I laugh, and I'm relaxed. Scale of 2 says I'm feeling okay, not great, but all is still good. Scale 3 says something bothers me. I frown, I don't want to smile. Scale 4 says I feel that I'm angry, I shout, I say things that aren't nice. And scale 5, the last one, says I feel I'm really mad. I scream, I hurt myself or others, I spit, I throw things.
Carmela, how do you think that this type of anger scale could help a kiddo that needs to realize why they have all this tension in their body? How could this help some kiddo?
Well, it can help some kiddo because it can help them be able to put words to how they're feeling. And then they would be able to deal with the feelings a lot easier
Might
with
you,
their friends and family.
might this have helped you when you were a kiddo and maybe you were feeling a little bit angry? Having something like this to help you to scale your feelings, might that have helped you?
Yes.
I'm so glad you think so. Now, this card says anger, fireworks, as you can see. What did you do when you were so angry that you felt like there were fireworks going off? This little boy and girl, what are they doing, Carmela?
They're shouting and crying.
They're shouting and they're crying because those feelings are so enormous. Pa-pow! 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 But guess what? When the feelings are going kapow, kapow, these cards are going to help them be able to understand how to voice those feelings. So be sure to purchase a set of these cards, $24.99 today, 20% off of that price. The Blooming with New Coping Skills, Emotional Regulation flashcards. Also, we have on sale today, we have my book. It is a culturally relevant book, very affirming for people of color, but also for all people that really want to know how to get inside of someone's world that looks like you. They look like you because they're a man, they're a boy, they're a girl. Okay? So they look like you. They are not from your same culture, but they look just like you. And knowing that, that means that you should reach out to them and get to know how to actually work with someone that might be outside of where your culture is. And I know many of you under the sound of my voice, they do just that already, don't they? But we want to actually enhance what it is that you already are doing. So this book, The Blooming with New Coping Skills, also companion, it goes right along with the other products, and it is called The Color of Hope, African American Mental Health in the Church. Now this book was extrapolated, Pamela, it was extrapolated from my dissertation. When I wrote my dissertation, you can hold the book a moment, I wrote this dissertation, and when I did, it took a lot of focus groups to write this. It took a lot of time where I sat down individually with talking with people and asking them what their take was in terms of how they were being received in certain settings because of their mental illness. And I wrote this book, and it contains graphs, and Pamela, it contains data. And you actually were part of some of the things that I had put in the book when you helped me, and your brother was actually on my doctoral committee as I wrote this. But inside of the dissertation, there's a lot of graphs and data and research and all. So I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, I really would want people to be able to have these products and have the dissertation. But Carmela, would you actually pick a dissertation up and probably read it like you would a book?
No.
Why not?
Boring.
Boring, tell them.
It'd probably be too boring for me to read it.
So because of that, I actually took what was inside of this dissertation and extrapolated it out into the form of this book, The Emerging Hope, Color of Hope, African American Mental Health in the Church book. Now this book is a book that will equip you to empower, enhance, and actually help those in your circle live their very best lives, because they will be able to learn how to better deal with any mental health challenges that they might find themselves going through. And so that you can get a hold of this today, it is available for purchase. The actual book costs $24.99. However, today we have it on sale. It is 20% off of that cost. And I want you to know that you can get your hands on this book today. I'm going to have my daughter read from chapter 3 just a bit of what it says, that the black church is a change agent. Now, in here there are passages of scriptures throughout the book as well. And one of them is my most favorite passage of scripture, which says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not, right? Into what?
Your own understanding.
But what?
In all your ways acknowledge him.
And he will direct the path. That's right. Now, has the Lord directed your path when you asked him to, Carmela?
Yes.
In what ways?
He has shown me what type of friends I should have. He's shown me what I should do for my weight loss. He's told me what I should do for situations involving parenting my child.
And what can he do for others that might trust him that way?
He can provide a sense of direction to them as well.
That's exactly right. And these products can provide a sense of direction from you, from God himself. Why? Because he actually gave me the knowledge, the ability, and the wisdom to how to pen these books and how to craft these flashcards. So actually, if you trust the Lord and you ask him to show you the way, he'll lead you into directions whereby you'll be able to get products that will enhance your ability to deal with your mental illness, or help you to deal with your loved ones that might have mental illness. It'll help you to be able to deal with those people in your circle that have mental illness that we know is prevalent in this day and age that we find ourselves in, especially in the post-pandemic era. Is that right, Carmela?
Right.
Yes. So also, Carmela will read this extrapolation from chapter 3. Just read that very first paragraph down to where it says darkness.
Okay.
Thank you. Tell them it's chapter.
Chapter 3, the Black Church, a Change Agent. The term the Black Church is classically defined as the collection of 7 major historically black denominations of the Christian faith in the United States, Lincoln and Maya, 1990. These denominations encompass approximately 65,000 to 75,000 churches in the United States, with an estimated membership of 24 million.
Now, the reason I had her read that is because there are so many of our churches that have so many of our loved ones that are attending those churches. Is that right?
Right.
Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, is that right?
Right.
And since you're there in the body, we want to equip those pastors, those youth group leaders, right? Those Sunday school teachers, right? We want to equip those special need teachers, where our daughter and her sister is a part of the special needs adult ministry. We want to equip those leaders, don't we, right?
Right.
To be able to relate to those that are among you. I know when I went to the seminary, Carmela, you know, when I attended seminary with my late husband, your stepfather Curtis, it did not include a lot of teaching, very small amount of teaching about mental illness and how to work with people in the congregation with mental illness. So I took it upon myself when I wrote my dissertation to make sure that I developed these products. Carmela, how do you think that that might help the body?
Because it'll provide help for people who need those those building blocks to be filled in.
Exactly, it will. Also, in my products, I also have available to you, if you can hand me that, I have available to you the Blooming with Hope Parenting Educational Manual. Now this manual, Carmela, as you are aware, was first of all written in 2002. You were a little bitty girl at that time. Were you having lots of fun then as a little kiddo at 2002?
Yes, I think I was about 8 years old.
What were you doing back then?
Just playing.
What else?
Playing with toys.
What else were you doing?
That's it, and doing homework.
And you were doing homework. And then also they were teasing me when we were driving in the car yesterday. They were saying how I was such a over-the-top mama at that time. Over-the-top mama bear, right? What made me over-the-top?
You wouldn't let us listen to some sorts of music and watch certain TV shows.
What type of music would I let you listen to? And what TV shows might I not have let you listen to?
Secular.
And why do you think that might have been?
To protect us from hearing something that was too mature for our ears at that time.
Exactly. Carmela had said that that's why. And that's why I had asked the Lord to help me to be able to put into words, right in the form of this manual, what I did to make sure, as a single mom back then, to help you, to protect you, to help you to develop into the beautiful young lady that you are today, that I'm so proud of, to call my daughter. So out of that came this book, Carmela. Out of that became this manual, Carmela. This is a relevant book. This is a relevant manual. It is also part memoir because it covers my story as a single mom, that it was a successful journey that only the Lord could have brought me through successfully. And I am so grateful. So in this manual, there are tools. There are tools that will help you learn how to be resilient. How am I to actually weather the storms of life and not let the storms weather me? This chapter, chapter number 4, the components of resilience, Carmela, it talks about how to set goals and take practical measures to improve the areas of life that burden you the most. How to maximize change. How to encourage relationships with stable family members. How to minimize involvement with passing relationships until you are in a position whereby you can make those relationships more permanent. How to actually parent your child in such a way to show them the way when they might face life's adversities. That's chapter number 4. Chapter number 5. There are resources here in chapter number 5. And what is the name of chapter number 5, Carmela?
Poverty is more than money.
Poverty. She said it's more than money. It's not just because you don't have enough resources and that makes you poor or that makes you not be able to matriculate into parts of society where you want to go. You might say, well, why, Dr. Pamela, do you say that? Well, I'm going to tell you why I say that when you purchase this manual. And then you'll find out why am I saying that. Frederick Douglass said, where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is more organized for them, robs them, and degrades them, neither persons nor property shall be safe. And Martin Luther King Jr. said, our lives begin and end The day we become silent to the things that matter. This is in chapter number 5. In chapter 5, there is what? A
quiz.
And also there are quizzes. Quizzes on income classes. Low income class, middle income class, and high income class. 3 quizzes that you can take to tell you if you know how to shop at the best rummage sale. If you know what a bag sale is. That's the first class of people. The second class of people talks about read those things. I know
how to get my children into soccer, dance. I know how to properly set a table. I know how to order in a nice restaurant. I understand an annuity, life insurance, and a 20/80 medical insurance policy.
What do you think that class comes from, Pamela?
I think that would be a higher class.
What do you think this first one was that I read, that I know how to shop at the rummage sale, I know what a bag sale is, I know how to physically fight?
I think that would be lower class.
And the next quiz talks about, I know how to fly my own plane. I have 2 homes in several countries. What class might that be?
High class.
So these quizzes will tell you how to actually recognize and realize where you might find yourself. And it is okay whatever class you find yourself in, because the Lord said that He will be with you wherever you are. And there's always better, however. So these resources will help you to live your very best life. The Blooming with Hope Culturally Relevant Parenting Educational Manual, the Blooming with New Coping Skills, Emotional Regulation Flashcards, The Color of Hope, African American Mental Health in the Church book, as well as my Culturally Affirming Education, African American in the Church, Culturally Affirming Mental Health Dissertation. That is actually published on ProQuest, which is a scholarly database that I'm so proud to have had this inducted into. Today we want to once again thank you for joining us this morning for the Lotus Flower Emerging Hope Ministries Black Friday sale. Be sure to purchase these products. Why? Because they will help you and you live your very best lives. The Color of Hope, African American Mental Health in the Church, The Color of Hope, Culturally Relevant Flashcards, The Color of Hope book, and their Blooming with Hope Culturally Affirming Manual. Carmela, if you had to say something to our audience before we close for this holiday season, what might you say to encourage them?
I'd say keep up the good work with what you're doing with parenting and with blooming with your coping skills. But consider our products for your Black Friday. They're on sale today, and they would be great for you to have.
And I would like to thank you all for joining us once again this morning for our shout out. Be sure to purchase these culturally affirming mental health products for those that are in your circle. You will not be disappointed. Thank you for joining us, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye.